toxic trait. What is our toxic trait?
So I have
Who
a
want to
list.
start?
I have a list, and then Bella, you can start. Okay.
Oh,
Okay. So toxic traits: passive aggressive behavior, arrogance, perfectionism, anger, conflict avoidance, dishonesty, lie. I think that's the same. Toxic positivity. We gonna go back to that.
yeah,
Um,
because I don't know that.
arrogant, abuse, aggression, selfishness, playing the victim, and empathy. Empathy is a toxic trait. Um,
I didn't know that was a toxic trait because I'm very empathetic.
positivity. Toxic positivity or positive toxicity is dysfunctional emotional management without the full acknowledgement of negative emotions. Oh, partic-
Wait, what? What does that mean?
me,
Everything is okay.
me.
Like everything is okay, but it's not
No
okay?
worries.
That's me. No worries. You don't acknowledge the because on in everything there's good and there's bad, and you push the bad to the side. It's like, don't worry about it. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. But inside you dying because it's not okay. You keep pushing forward, and you never deal with the part that's not okay in any situation.
Hmm.
But yeah, go ahead, Bella.
Now I'm messed up because I had something else listed.
Yeah, that was a long
Right,
list, right?
right. But low key, I can relate to a lot. But I think that kind of piggybacking off of our previous podcast, where it's like you don't know sometimes yourself until that mirror is in front of you,
Mhm.
and like what aggravates your spirit about somebody else sometimes is what's wrong with you. It's a mirror, sometimes. So one of mine would be, from what I was told, what about my kids, was forgiveness. I knew that one, but I don't let things go. But then on the other hand, I want somebody else to forget about my indiscretions. Like, okay, that's done. I already said sorry. Why are you still talking about it? But this list kind of doesn't align with what I was thinking, what a toxic trait is on that. So I guess I would equate that to perfectionism if we're going to list that situation.
I mean, that's a small list. That's not a all inclusive list. So
Um, but I think,
But even in the smallest, like how many of those items
yeah,
that are on that small list that you have as a
I think my
toxic trait?
biggest one would be the conflict avoidance. Even if it's something that I feel like I was wronged in a situation, I will shut down and shut up about it because I don't want to bring it to the forefront. I don't want to address it. Um, that's one of my biggest things. But that kind of, and not to give it a pass, but a reason, as a kid, it was like, be quiet, um, stay in a child's place, and that was it. So I carried that. It was just innate in me. So I'm not a confrontational type of person, and that's not good because where's the communication? They don't know that they even wrong me. They don't know that they have offended me. And now when it comes to a certain situation, and they feel like whatever, it's like, well, why didn't you act like this? They don't even know they offended me because I didn't ever sell them. You know. Um, Another one, I think there was a difference between dishonesty and a lie. They're
yeah,
cousins. Um, you might not tell somebody a lie, but you avoid telling the full truth.
yes, withholding information.
Yeah. And my thing is, will, I cover for people a lot. And so I'll let certain things go. It may be something that they did. I might not tell it, the whole situation. I let it Somebody would be right there in my face telling a lie about something. I might know you lying. I never let you know I know. And I ain't gonna let nobody else know that you lying either. Even though I'm not telling the lie myself, I'm complicit, and that's not good. um, I don't know if this is really a toxic trait, but one of my kids said that I'll entertain people that I have no intention on building with, like having conversation. But to me, I'm being a friend.
Wasting people's time.
Oop.
I think that's a toxic.
Hear
Your friend and
me out.
misguiding someone. Those are two different things.
So this is my thing. They're looking from an outside perspective, right? So I'm thinking this person not taking me serious either. So I'm just being a friend and I'm just having a conversation with them. We might talk consistently every day or every week or something like that, but I know where my position is to me, because to me, if a man wants you, there's no question about it. So I know you don't want me like
So
that.
why you wasting your
So
time? Because you bored.
because I'm a human, and I need human communication. Am I supposed to just be looking at YouTube 24 hours a day and not speak to nobody?
Nope, I'm not saying that. I'm just asking your perspective. That's it. That's it.
That was my thought process in having these conversations with my friends who might be males, and my kids may think, good and well, but then I'm crying, okay, I'm by myself. You know,
But there's a difference when you know that that male is seeking
that's I
something
don't think
other than
they're seeking
friendship.
nothing. Or if
But how do you
they're
know?
seeking sex, they're not seeking,
How do you know?
because I could tell. Well, I thought I
So
could tell.
if somebody is seeking something other than friendship, and if somebody is seeking other than something other than friendship, and you know they seeking sex or they seeking and you're not interested in it, why do you still entertain it?
No, that's my toxic trait. That's my toxic trait.
Um, well, a few of my toxic traits. I have poor communication. I will cut you off and never speak to you again, and that'll just be it. Like, forget that you exist, and people will be questioning whether we used to be friends or in a relationship, or like I have done that before. Um, in a relationship with that poor communication, and it's not like I don't say nothing ever, but I like if I gotta keep saying stuff over and over, and you do have to keep saying some things over and over again because people are human, and you're setting your ways, you have habits, and if one of your habits is driving me crazy, you're not gonna just break that habit just because I said it's driving me crazy. It's gonna take time, and it's gonna take reminders, and it's gonna take us forming new traditions and habits with each other. But my patience is low, and a lot of times, enough times, I mentally go into singles training. And what's singles
Right.
training? I've already started
Uh
moving
oh.
on. I may not be dating anybody else, I may not be talking to anybody else, but I've already, okay, it's something wrong with my car. I'm not gonna ask him. I'm gonna go ahead and go to this. I'm gonna go figure it out on my own. My whatever bill is due, and I'm short. I figure it out. I'm not. I've already started conditioning myself to be without you,
Yeah.
not necessarily with someone else, but without you. But I'm still with you. But you know,
Yeah.
so that's definitely that's toxic because that those things could be remedied. Either we have the conversations, plural, or I just say, look, I can't do this, and go ahead and go on my merry little way. And I know those are the two simple things, but a lot of times relationships don't end because you're comfortable enough in it to not leave it. Even if you're not super happy, you're comfortable enough to
You
stay.
can be comfortable in a depression.
Yeah, yeah. Um, somebody told me that I was passive aggressive, and I don't think that I am. But looking at looking at the character traits, I may be a little bit passive aggressive, but I mean,
Ghost,
whatever.
I'm definitely passive
is
aggressive.
ghosting passive aggressive?
Is roasting passive aggressive?
Ghosting.
Ghosting? Yeah, I think it is.
So I
I think
am.
it is. Conflict avoidance, absolutely. That goes back to the poor communication because
Not
and
me. I want to be
it
conflict.
goes back to what Bella said, with like childhood and being raised. I could say anything. Like in my household, my mother's household, we could say anything. It's not what you say; it's how you say it. So
Mm.
that's me overthinking. How am I gonna tell her I don't like this food? How am I gonna tell her I don't like this food? I'm gonna just put this napkin on top of this food, and I'm gonna sneak it. Like I'm gonna get everybody's plate and throw it, empty the place and put theirs on top of mine. Conflict avoidance. Instead of me saying, "Mommy, that was a little salty," it's simple, simple
Yeah.
things. Dishonesty. I can agree with the dishonesty thing. Like I don't lie outright, but I do omit um details sometimes, and it's not oftentimes it's to make you feel better.
Yes.
It's not because I'm gonna get in trouble, it's to make you feel better. um Toxic positivity. Damn, I got a little list here. Toxic positivity, absolutely. Like I said earlier, I it hurts me more than it hurts you. 100% it hurts me more than it hurts you because something could be bothering me, and that I think toxic positivity connects to conflict avoidance. Because if I tell you how I truly feel, like if I'm not happy with something, I just say it's all right, don't worry about it. But in my mind, I am pissed off. And if I would have told you how I felt, we finna, if I get some stuff off my chest, we finna argue, and I don't know what's gonna happen after this argument. So I won't say anything. And then here we go back to, but I'm slowly cutting you off. And I done joined the singles training class. I done enrolled online, or however it is that you enroll in the singles training class, because Google will help me figure out everything. Um,
And TikTok.
Pinterest too. Pinterest is old school, but it still works. I don't think I'm selfish. If selflessness was a toxic trait, I think that I would fall under
It probably is. It
that.
probably is.
I
I
don't
don't think so.
Let's not say
Because sometimes
sometimes.
in life you have to be selfish.
Absolutely.
Like there's nothing
effing
wrong.
people. I said, now when I said be selfless and think about others, y'all talking about all effing people.
Selfish is
No,
the list,
selfish.
but selfish is on the list.
Selfish.
So
But
selfless.
if you're, I think that too much of anything can be toxic. So if you're always
Yeah.
selfish, because you have to take a moment to think of yourself. If you don't, if you have nothing to give, you have nothing to give. But selflessness, I think, because if you're constantly giving, how are you being replenished? So
God is replenished.
There's an equal balance
Yeah.
of everything.
Yeah.
empathy. I don't be. I don't, so I'm gonna say that I used to feel that I was empathetic. I used to feel that way. I don't think that I am. The more, the more,
Mhm.
yeah, I know. The more that
You
I
not.
I do everything I can to distance myself from people and cut people off and say f them people, forget them people, I get better at not being so empathetic. And it's not that I'm not empathetic at all, but I don't think that I'm an empath. Absolutely not. And I don't want to be.
I have a list too. I don't know if it's the same list Nika got, but I'm gonna go through the list because I know for a fact that I have
Mm-hmm.
toxic traits. So I'm gonna start with manipulation.
Ooh.
I'm not manipulative. I'm not. It is what it is with me. Like I'm not trying to manipulate you into being or doing or anything that
You don't want
benefits me. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care. I'm not a manipulator. That's not a part of a toxic trait that I have. Passive aggressive, absolutely. Because if you do me a certain type of way and it is a certain environment,
Mm-hmm.
I cannot be aggressive in that environment. So I have no other choice but to be passive aggressive because I need to keep whatever it is that I need to be passive aggressive. So I am passive
Right.
aggressive because in every environment, you can't be aggressive. Dishonesty, I'm not dishonest at all. Like I am really honest with everything that I say. I am honest with everything that I do, and I am not going to sugarcoat anything to make you like I tell you how it is. Am I rude? Am I disrespectful? Am I
No.
no? I'm not that. But I am always honest. And anybody who knows me knows that I am honest. Like it is what it is. I'm going to tell you, but I am going to tell you in a way that is not offensive. It's a way to do that. It's a way to tell somebody
Yeah.
whatever you need to say without being offensive to that person. And I am not dishonest. Arrogance. I don't think I'm arrogant. And y'all can speak to that. That is not something that you can like say about yourself because I don't think you realize if you are arrogant.
Mm.
You know what I mean? I don't think that is something that you can reflect on yourself and be like, oh, I'm arrogant. Like, I think that is
Right.
something
I
for
don't.
other people to acknowledge. And I don't think I'm arrogant at all. Aggression. I am very aggressive. I just want to be truthful about that. I just want y'all to know I'm aggressive. And it depends on the situation, but yeah, I am aggressive. Perfection. I have a perfectionism. I do have in every sense
It can.
of the word of perfection.
I don't know if that feels
I have
toxic though. I think it's to it can, but I don't
it
think
mm, when it gets to the point where if something is not to your perfectionism, it makes you angry,
oh,
it
okay.
can be toxic.
Got you.
Selfishness, that is not a bone that I have in my body. None. I am not selfish, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I am not selfish at all. I don't lie. Why?
People lie
What
out
am
of
I lying for?
manipulation or out of fear. Those are the two reasons.
And none of them. I'm not lying.
And now that you said that, and I said that, I have to take back one of mine or add to mine. I have told lies, but and it's manipulation, but it's not it's an excuse, but a reason. But for example, I told somebody I was out of town because I didn't want to go out with them. Not that I didn't like them like that. It's the fact I just had so much going on, but I didn't want them to feel a certain type of way.
Toxic positivity. I don't know what that
Because
means.
you don't have it. It's like, okay, I'm gonna read it. It says positivity or positive toxicity is dysfunctional emotional management without the full acknowledgement of negative emotions, particularly anger and sadness.
I got that.
Meaning that I have anger and sadness uh, because of a situation, but I replace it with positivity.
Right. So you can express when you're angry or you can express when you're sad. You're upset, you let it be known. Me, like
Yeah.
say I get mad. I can get mad at my kids. I was mad at my kids the other day. Like mad at my kids. And I did like this. And I let it go. The anger wasn't there,
No,
but
no,
I
no.
did not. I
No.
ain't scream. I ain't fuss. I didn't say anything. I went on. I went on.
So I don't have toxic
I
positivity.
know.
Playing the victim. I don't play the victim. It is what it is. If I did something, I did it. If not, it is what it is. Like I'm not trying to feel. I'm not trying to make you feel guilty for something because I think that's what playing the victim is, making you feel guilty for something that I am the
So
victim of.
playing the victim is
Like oh
fabrication or exaggeration of victimhood for a variety of reasons, such as to justify abuse to others, to manipulate others, a coping strategy, attention seeking, or diffusion of responsibility. A person who repeatedly does this is known as a professional victim.
Wow.
This is the thing, and I want to say this as a disclaimer because some people may feel like I play the victim, but you cannot play the victim if you are
The
actually
victim.
Yeah.
the victim.
You
You cannot play the victim if you are actually the victim of a situation, a circumstance, or you can't play the victim. Because when you playing something, mean you playing a role. You acting as if you
you
are.
know, oftentimes when it's a situation
So,
like that, it's that they don't want to take on the responsibility that they played. And
Right.
I already this goes back to what Bella said though. Even though I don't think that you played a victim, but it's I said I'm sorry. Let it go.
but
Oh,
why? Anybody can say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. What did you not mean to do?
Mm.
Explain that.
And also,
What you saying sorry for?
and if you're really sorry, you don't keep doing the situation. You change. When you're remorseful, you change your
yeah.
actions. You don't continue to move in the same fashion when you're
No,
really
not
remorseful.
If you don't feel remorseful,
Don't say it then.
if you don't feel like you did nothing wrong,
Sometimes,
yeah.
if you really care about somebody, do we really need a reason?
hmm
So this
hmm
is why I'm thinking. This is what
I
like
do.
if I had a situation with the relationship, right? And at the time, I still do feel like I was done wrong. However, in hindsight, I could have moved a little bit different about how that was done. Because when they told me what they felt like after that, I didn't see it that way. And so in that fashion, I'm not going to beg and what a plead or whatever, but I'm moving in my future a little bit different. And if that made you feel bad, I'm going to give you that apology, even though my feelings are warranted. But I can see your perspective. And for that, I apologize.